Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to another video. This is Nasdaq Bliss, as we all know. So guys, today I'll be showing you an account of which I was able to flip. It is a 1.5 account. And also guys, most importantly, my babies have arrived. My babies have arrived. My babies have arrived, guys. Oh! And also guys, most importantly, please like the video and subscribe. Please like the video and subscribe. Let's get into it. Let's go.
We're back again. So we'll be analyzing USDC today, and we know that when we analyze, we always start on a higher time frame for that major overall trend. So currently we can see that we are moving in some kind of a consolidation or a sideways trend. So we can see that we recently touched the support, so we should be on the way to what? To the resistance. So when we drop it to a daily time frame, we can see that okay, the market has formed a structure at this point. So the only thing that's left for us to do is to look for our key chart levels, our key levels. So basically we can see that we have a sensitive area here, which is our key chart level, and then we also have another sensitive area at this point, and then okay, here is another one. Okay, let's see. Okay, we also have another one here, and then this one. Yeah, so we can see that we are in an overall consolidation of which we have touched the major support and we are on the way to the major resistance. So when we dwell deeper into it, we can see that the market has created some kind of a bearish trend. Let me just cater this bearish trend. Okay, so we have our diagonal support and our diagonal resistance. Okay, so how do we read the market in such a case? We know that since we are on a daily time frame, we have our newly formed resistance, of which we use the previous key zone as our newly formed resistance. We are going to call it a newly formed resistance so that we can make sure that every time when we trade, we always trade inside a support and a resistance. I think it's easier that way. So we can see that we have our newly formed resistance, and then we have our newly formed support, and then also we have this bearish trend. So one thing I always encourage my students, you should always try to have a minimum of 3 confirmations that a certain setup that you are looking at is that setup. So what do I mean by that? You should have a maximum of 3 confirmations that this trade that we are looking at is definitely a sell or a buy. So we can see that we have a bullish trend of which has already touched the resistance, but it is a possible touch on our diagonal resistance. So what about the confirmations? We have a confirmation that we have touched the resistance. We should be looking for selling opportunities. We have a confirmation that we have touched this this horizontal key level, of which we should take selling opportunities from it. And then we are just looking for one confirmation. We are left with only one confirmation. So when I drop it to a 4-hour time frame, I was able to see that, I think, no, let's drop it to an hour. Okay, so I think the market was, yeah, the market was at this point. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, the market was at this point. So I know that taking a trade at this point is very risky because we have a sensitive zone here of which the market might touch and then pull back. So I decided to take this risky trade because when I go to a 30 minutes time frame, I was able to see that we have a push to the downside and a strong push. So what I did was I waited for a retest. So I got this first pullback of which didn't qualify as a pullback, and then this one really touched this zone, this sensitive zone. So that's when I entered my first selling opportunities. Selling opportunities. So at that time I was hoping to hold up until this far. I was hoping to hold up until here, but I don't remember what happened that day. I was kind of busy maybe, so I couldn't manually close this trade. So I think I found this trade somewhere here. When I returned, it was somewhere here. So I saw that, okay, this level, okay, let me just, okay, that's when I saw that this level, the market isn't respecting this level quite that much because we had a breakthrough and another break. So that's when I told myself that, you know what, we had a breakout, and then first of all you can see that the market rejected and also the market rejected. So that's when I started to look at this trade at a different perspective. So I was able to see that we have another kind of a trend. Let me just use this thingy. Yeah, I was able to see that I have a kind of trend of which I took an advantage of. Okay, so I remember taking sales also at this point, yeah, at this high. The reason why I decided to take sales at that high because we rejected many times. So that's when I took that sell, because I knew that we have a sensitive level here. Because as you can see, let me just try to cater for it. This is the level. So that's when I took my second entries. So right when I took those entries, the market slided, dropped, and then we had this major drop and then another pullback. So when we got this pullback, I told myself that, you know what, let me put my stop losses at this point. If the market decides to go above this resistance zone, I will take my profits and I'll be fine with it. But unfortunately, or fortunate enough, the market didn't go to that resistance. It dropped. So when it dropped, I also entered somewhere here after this breakout. Yeah, after this breakout, I entered again with other selling opportunities, and then this is where we closed. This is why I think I closed my profits. I don't know. Yeah, I think I closed the profits here. So at this point I was holding how many trades? It was so many trades, because I remember I entered trades here, I entered here, and I also entered here, and I was holding all of them. And then I closed somewhere at this area. So take a look. Let's go.